Does the thought of solo travel both inspire and terrify you at the same time? Maybe you want to travel the world but can't find anyone who shares your passion or flexibility. Or perhaps you're overcome with analysis paralysis the minute you even consider planning a trip for yourself. Recently, I had the pleasure of being part of the launch of a brand new travel company, She's the World, which was specifically created for you wannabe adventure women over 40 who want to roam the world but without all the stress and overwhelm. Join me today as I chat with Heather DiPietro, the amazing founder and owner of She's the World, as she shares with me why she decided to start this new company, what makes her tours so different from everything out there, and her #1 piece of advice for solo travelers after 10 years of traveling solo. Let's go. So Heather, tell me what gave you the inspiration to start She's the World?
So many things. The very first kind of glimmer of She's the World was we had a trip to Italy last year. And on that trip to Italy at the last minute, we had a solo female traveler that jumped onto that trip, and I had never met her. She ended up on the trip, and it just lucked out that she ended up being like family on the trip. Towards the end of the trip, she asked if we did anything for female travelers. And I said, you know, we don't, but I have like 40 friends that own travel agencies. Let me ask one of them. And I asked around, and nobody was doing this. So we started looking around, and I found a few agencies that did it, but nobody that was doing it the way I wanted to do it. So then I started researching, and I have really great connections that own some different distributors and vendors and tour companies, and I decided this needed to be done the way I wanted to do it. So that's where She's the World was born.
What is your dream for the perfect solo adventure with your group?
Well, everything that I saw was kind of like, we load people onto a bus, we load people off of a bus, we load people onto a bus, we pack, we unpack, we pack, we unpack. And there is definitely a market for that. We have people that we bring tours like that, and I enjoy those. We had a great time in Italy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with those. But what I want to do is something that's way more custom curated. Every tour we do, I personally create. And I mean, we have one that's going to Ireland in July. I have spent 3 months putting this tour together. It is, every single tour is me, and that one I did with 3 different people that are in Colette, but one of them was the CEO. It's not just like their tour department, it's the CEO of Colette. I got special permission to do special things with that tour. So it is tons of options, where normally on one of these tours you would go and everybody on the tour would do the exact same tour every day.
Yep.
That is not a She's the World trip. On our tours, you've seen while you've been here, you could do the chocolate experience that you had yesterday morning, the cacao, where you get all of those kind of really bespoke, custom curated. That's what everything She's the World is about.
Which was amazing, by the way.
Yeah. So you're gonna get more of the local culture. Like, while you were here, you got to experience that full moon.
Right.
That you got to learn about the local culture. But if you didn't want to do that, you didn't have to participate in that. It was an optional experience. That's what She's the World is about. If you want to go when we do Ireland, if you want to go and you want to do the Guinness experience, you can go and do that.
Yep.
But if you're not a drinker and you don't want to do the Guinness experience, then you can go and you can learn from a local how to make a homemade pastry.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's, everything is about, and if you don't want to do a tour at all, then when we first hit Dublin, we're going to do a tour of the city, and then when we're done with the tour of the city, you'll have the lay of the land, and if you don't want to do a tour, then you can just explore Dublin on your own.
That's
but you're
amazing.
still going to get that group discount on these beautiful hotels, and everything will be 4-star. And then you're going to get the group discount on the luxury coach going from place to place. And instead of doing 5 stops, we do 3 but you're still going to see all the same things that you would have seen if we did 5 stops. Because I don't want to pack and unpack 5 times. I want to pack and unpack 3.
That's one of the biggest hassles when you do those group tours. And I know that there are a lot of women out there that are like, I don't know if a group tour is for me because I don't want to have to be stuck with the same people the whole time. And
this way you won't.
Right.
Because when you're doing optional tours, not everybody's going to book into the same tours. So you're not spending the same time with everybody every day.
Yeah.
So even though you're going, and we max out all of our tours at 24 people.
Oh, that's
so
great.
First of all, you're not going with 50 people.
Right.
You're going with max out 24.
Right.
And the tours are max out. Well, some of them you might like. When we go, everybody, if you go to Ireland, wants to see the Cliffs of Moher.
Sure.
So everybody's going to go to the Cliffs of Moher, and that's
Right.
going to be included in your package.
Right.
But like our pastry tour, that might be 10 people.
Right.
So you're going to see 10 people on that one, but you're going to see a different 10 people when you go and you do. We'll have 3 different options for you to see the Killarney National Park.
Oh, cool.
So there'll be 10 people on this one and 10 people on that one, and it'll be a different 10 people than you saw on the Guinness tour the day before.
Right, right.
So you're going to get to know different people throughout the week, but you're not going to be stuck with the same people all week long, because everybody gets on your nerves after a while.
Even people you love.
Your family. When you travel with your family, you've had enough of your family by the time that week is out.
Yeah, you're like, okay, can I go spend some time with somebody else now? Please, please. So what is your past experience with solo travel? Like, what's been your favorite ever solo trip that you've taken?
I, believe it or not, I mean, my family is with me on this trip.
Right.
You've met them all.
Yeah.
But I travel by myself a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's my job.
Exactly.
So I would say 80% of the time I'm traveling alone. So I experience that a lot. So I specifically look for places that's their expertise. So I want to look for, I posted a while back, I just did a European river cruise by myself. So I went from, we flew into Budapest and went over to Romania and went through 5 countries. And I looked for a river cruise experience that would give that solo traveler that little bit of extra attention so that they would feel comfortable going through these countries by themselves.
Right, yeah.
So I really have had 10 straight years of experience traveling very often on my own. So the whole idea is to make women feel very safe traveling on their own, but our company, you're not really traveling on your own.
Right.
A lot of what we do is, yes, it's for solo female travelers, but on this trip we have 2 mother-daughter duos. We have 2 best friend duos. So you can come by yourself and you can meet other women, which is great because you came on your own. We have another woman that came on her own, and you guys have hung out and gotten to be friends.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's a great experience, but you can also bring your mom, you can bring your sister, you can bring your best friend. It's a way for women who would love to do those BFF trips or the mom and daughter trip and be able to do it and still feel safe in a group of people.
Right, and maybe take away the intimidation and overwhelmness of putting the whole trip together for yourself or 2 people.
Yes. Did you, like with this trip, did you feel that it was kind of seamless?
Oh, completely seamless. It's been just such an amazing, I haven't had to do anything. And I'm so used to having to plan all my own things from the get-go, and just to be able to this is the person, this is actually a picture of the person you need to look for at the airport. When you arrive, that is going to pick you up. I was like, oh, this is not just the name of a company, you're actually giving me a visual, which is step by step.
And that's the way we want it to be.
It's more relaxing. Yeah.
That's the way we want it to be. So when you get your documents, you will get, they're going to be wearing a blue floral print shirt when you get to the airport. They will have a sign with our logo on it. Every single step will be planned out for you, and someone will be there to meet you at the airport. Because this trip in itself is a little intimidating. You're going to fly into Mexico by yourself. You're going to go to the airport. You're going to get in a transfer. You're going to get on a boat. There's a lot of logistics to that. We take care of all of the logistics,
and it was
so that you know exactly
seamless.
what you're going to do.
Yes. Yeah, there was
That's
no
what we love to hear.
Waiting anywhere. There was no question of who am I looking for? It was all very well laid out. I love that part of it. So
that's always our goal.
Yeah. So what is the one piece of advice that you would give women that are thinking about that have been thinking for a while about going out and doing something adventurous on their own, but they're really not sure?
I would say, work with a professional travel advisor, and the emphasis there is on professional travel advisor. I hate to say this, there are people in the travel industry that call themselves travel advisors. Ask the right questions. If you are calling a travel advisor, I mean, obviously I want you to work with us.
Yes.
But I just want you
should.
to work with a professional travel advisor.
Right.
If you're not going to work with us, if you're not going to go with an escorted tour company and you want to do a trip on your own, really on your own,
Right.
ask questions. Ask if they're certified.
Right.
Get a certified travel advisor, because you're not required to be certified in our industry. We are working on that.
That's good
We
to
are
know.
actively lobbying to require certification in our industry. I have been doing this for 17 years. This is, this is my blood, sweat, and tears. It is all I do. There are a lot of advisors out there, travel agents out there that do this very part-time and are doing it just to get discounts on travel.
Right.
Ask questions.
Yes.
Ask, are you certified? What courses have you taken? Are you actively getting recertified every year?
Right.
Are you a member of IATA? Are you a member of ASTA? These are questions that you have every right to ask. You're trusting this person with your hard-earned money. You've worked very hard to pay for this trip. You should get the trip that you want.
Yeah.
So, and that person should be certified. And the most important question, have you been where I'm going?
Yeah.
I spend a lot of money and
That's a really
time
good point.
every year traveling. If you called me tomorrow and asked me to book your trip to Asia, I would tell you no. And I would refer you to one of my professional colleagues who has been to Asia and who can plan that trip really well for you, because I haven't.
Right.
And any really good professional, they're going to tell you that.
Right.
I'm going to be very honest with you. I can do Europe, I can do Caribbean, I can do Mexico, I can do South Pacific.
All the fun places.
Yes, lots of fun places. I can do Africa. We're planning Africa for 2025.
Ooh.
But I wouldn't do Asia.
Yeah.
Because it's just not an area that I'm an expert in. But I have friends that are. So ask the right questions.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm so glad you came.
Thanks for the invite.
Yes.
This has been amazing.
I would be remiss if I did not say we are planning a trip together.
Oh, yes.
Back here to Mexico. We're going to swim with whale sharks. We're looking at next summer. So keep an eye out on she'stheworld.com and also on GenX Gypsy, because we will have lots of details for that coming out in the next month or so. To do that trip with you.
Be so much
so
fun.
excited
Sharks,
with our friends
people,
from Charisma.
If you'd like to experience a She's the World adventure for yourself this summer, you're in luck. They still have 5 spaces available for a trip to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic for July. I will have the link below so you can check that trip out for yourself. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.